What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Big Crypto here, and they continue to write us off, but Luna Classic and USTC on an absolute tear right now. What is going on specifically with USTC? We're going to break it down for you in this video. So if you're still bullish on Luna Classic, you're still holding your coins, be sure to subscribe. It feels like there's only a few of us left talking about Luna Classic, and if you want to see more content, don't forget, smash that like button. That's how I know you guys are there. Let's try and smash over 1,000 likes. Would be insane. Luna Classic Army, stand up. With that being said, let's take a look and see what's going on the chart. So you can see here on the last 4 hours, so the last 8 hours, we have seen a increase, quite significant increase in price. We kind of tested on the 100 at 7463, broke above 7785, 4.93% up on the day. Bitcoin just pulling back a little bit, but you could look at USTC, absolutely sending right now. Did break into the 16s at one point, so a significant move to the upside. Now, what do we have? Why are we seeing such a big price movement? Well, we ultimately got this, the USTC repeg to $1. Now, clearly this is a big fundamental desire for the USTC and Luna Classic community because it gives us the main use case of the chain to a degree, the algorithmic stablecoin. I have talked for months about this being a really key part of the future of Luna Classic, and it has to ultimately be done right. It has to ultimately be stress tested, and what this is a re-enable the market module and incrementally repeg USTC. Now, I don't necessarily think this is a bad thing, and it's going to go into a little bit more technical data, and I'll try and summarize it for you, but ultimately a spread fee of 98%, effectively pegging USTC at 2 cents, incrementally peg it to 3, 4, and so on. So what you do then is set small goals. Remember, there's a saying in business, how do you eat an elephant? Well, you eat it one bite at a time. And this is exactly that. How do you get back to $1? Well, you go in 1 cent increments. And a lot of people say, well, I haven't got the time for that. That's going to take forever. The reality here is, though, that as this starts to move up, as this is fundamentally seen to be working, then people will come back to the chain. Remember, there isn't many algorithmic stablecoins out there, and we know that the world of regulation is coming for stablecoins. Ultimately, then it talks about burning 100% of the spread fee and sending it to the Oracle pool with the option of splitting a portion of the spread fee to the Oracle pool in the future, limit the virtual liquidity-based pool size and increase the recovery rate such the rate burns the excess of rate recovery and base pool liquidity and hard cap LUNC and USTC max supply. Ultimately, what is the motivation? Well, the LUNC bank run USTC DPEG happened more than a year ago. Who would have thought that? The staking IBC and market module all have been turned off. Now, obviously, staking IBC is all back on. And ultimately, the market module, again, both rewards as well as risk will obviously be done through that. What would the rewards be? Potentially repegging USTC to $1, bringing back utility to the chain. And everybody, I think, talks about that, bringing decentralized applications back and ultimately having this algorithmic stablecoin. The risk is unwanted minting of LUNC. Now, the reality here is we want to move away from this, and I think everyone was really keen that that doesn't happen. But equally, there is a desire for this to come back up. So in a bit more detail, we do have a bit more of a kind of note here. It says, I propose to burn instead of being minted, as explained below. And I think this is the key part. Burn it. Don't mint it. Minting it loses a lot of trust, and ultimately it just gives another avenue in which we could really do more damage than we potentially do good. Minting a 98% LUNC in an Oracle pool is counterproductive to the community efforts of burning LUNC. So instead, the spread fee minting in the Oracle pool, I propose diverting the spread fee to the burn module instead of the Oracle pool, thereby mitigating 98% of the risk highlighted above. And I think that has to be the key point here. Remove the risk. Ultimately, then limiting the virtual liquidity pool size is about 98% of the risk is mitigated with 0.2 above. There still exists 2% of risk for minting. This can be further reduced by limiting the virtual liquidity base size and increasing the rate of replenishment to a point where the rate of burning will outdo the rate of replenishment. Once again, we virtually get rid of that further 2% risk. So all in all, a very good plan, minimizing the level of risk, which ultimately then has a desire to repeg USTC in set, controlled increments. And I think that is very, very important. It says that the recommended values of the base pool and recovery period are subject to change. A USTC testnet will have to be set up to fine tune and adjust the values before a final recommendation is made. Now, here's the reality. When you have a testnet, what do you get? You get test results that ultimately we can put out. And what's really exciting about this proposal is they're not asking for 1 million Luna Classic. They're not asking for $30,000 a month. It's a proposal that's been put there that they will work through as a community consensus. And that is the fantastic thing when we talk about Luna Classic. It's a fantastic thing when we talk about USTC. community minds working to solve a difficult problem, rather than throwing 1 million Lunar Classic at a particular entity and asking them to go and do something different. And it's funny, you know, since we kind of moved away from these funding of these teams, well, Lunar Classic's done okay. The price has moved. USTC as well has moved. Now, the other story that everyone is talking about is this. Is Richard Teng and the Binance team going to continue to support Lunar Classic? And we do know Richard Teng has been out rebuilding the Binance brand, ultimately being at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, and ensuring that the Binance name is out there for people to see, that the, you know, tenure of CZ has moved on. Now, as it stands at the minute, there is no nod to any burns or equally to any further development on USTC. But what's my opinion? There is no reason for him to change it right now. And again, when anyone takes over a new business or equally gets a new job or a new CEO position, the last thing you want to do is start to change everything. That's just my opinion. So what have we got in terms of price and equally where Terra Luna Classic sits? So look, USTC up just under 16% and is looking like it's holding at this upper range. We're always going to get these big wicks when we get a big spike up, just because people will take their profits or equally just try and exit the position. Look at the spike in volume though. We've seen 3 really big catalysts for Lunar Classic, and this continues to be a positive thing. When we actually look at the lunk price, now we're back to kind of where we were early November, around that 7-8. I would like to see a retest and break above the 8. Whether we get that momentum, we'll have to see in terms of the market. We did get the flip on the sell and see whether we get this positive momentum up to the upside, but again, we'll have to wait and see. There is a downward trend though. That is the thing we need to break, and it right now looks like we might be in that place. If we take a look at the actual chart, 4.38% up, 74% up on volume. That has to help the burns. And remember, we're about 6 days away from finding out if Binance are still going to be supporting the Lunar Classic movement. Time will tell with this one, but let me know down below in the comments, what do you think? Do you think Richard Teng and the team at Binance will continue to support Lunar Classic? And ultimately, what do you think about the incremental repeg to $1 for USTC? I'm always interested to know your thoughts, and if you're bullish on Lunar Classic, you want to see more content like this, make sure you hit the like button. It's the only way I know if you enjoy this, and also consider subscribing. We're on our way to 20k by the end of the year. As ever, thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.